Cooper. Cooper with a great chance. Cooper must make it 4. He does.
The Full-Time Review Show is brought to you and supported by Saltire Energy, the global market leader in specialist drilling equipment rental, and also by Craig International, who, like Saltire Energy, recently renewed their sponsorship deal with ABTV. My continued thanks to Steve McCarty and Jill McDonald for their continued support and backing. Global sourcing, worldwide supply, the future of procurement is very much safe in their hands. Those were the full-time scenes at the Global Energy Stadium on Saturday evening. My thanks to Paul Donaldson for allowing me to show that video. What an unbelievable finish to the game. 90 plus 8 minutes. Kevin Nisbet coming on as a substitute and scoring what was a very dramatic winner to send the Aberdeen fans home absolutely delirious. The attendance on Saturday was 5,480, of which over 2,000 were Aberdeen fans. So it means this. So after the game in Glasgow yesterday, where Celtic obviously beat the Rangers, they stay top of the league quite simply due to a superior goal difference. But for the Dons, it's 4 wins out of 4. It's 9 out of 9. Hi everybody, how you doing? A very warm welcome to Ali Beg ABTV, once again brought to you in my living room. So the studio's not quite ready yet. There's still the maintenance work going on there, but hopefully by the time we come back from the international break, we'll be good to go again. So I hope it doesn't spoil your viewing pleasure tonight. Oh my giddy aunt. I must admit, I have not got out my seat like that for an Aberdeen goal and gone absolutely berserk for quite a while. I have to be honest. It was just an astonishing end to the game. And I thought we thoroughly deserved to get the goal. And I thought we thoroughly deserved to come away with the 3 points. Yes, we kind of huffed and puffed a wee bit throughout the game. I thought we missed a cutting edge in the final third. But overall, I thought it was another very decent display. And what I absolutely loved, and I think we can continue to bear fruit for this for the rest of the season, is that Jimmy did not rest on his laurels. When he saw that changes needed to be made, he made positive, attack-minded changes, which kept us on the front foot, which kept us going at Ross County, which gave the players the belief that he had belief in them, that we could go on and win this game. And for me, that is a hugely marked difference to Aberdeen teams of the recent past. And absolutely fair play and all credit to Jimmy Tulane and his coaching staff for having the absolute balls to do that. Because the game was sort of swings and roundabouts for me. Obviously, their disallowed goal, our disallowed goal, the penalty save by Dimitar Mitov, which for me absolutely changed the pattern of the game. And by God, what a save it was. Just sensational. The goal itself, Nicky Devlin, who just kept going, goes down, doesn't look for a free kick, gets up, gives it to Shaden Morris, who is a completely different player to the one that we've seen in the past 18 months or so. Drives the ball across. That brilliant little, you can call it dummy, little flick that Nicky does, and Kevin finishes it off, and the subsequent celebrations by all. Just a fantastic win for the Dons. So tonight, it's all about you guys, because I decided to sort of just not do any interviews or anything like that, because I had a feeling tonight's show was going to be really busy, because the reaction to Saturday's win has been absolutely fantastic to watch and to read and online. So I've just kept it tonight an open book for you guys to come on and have your say. Let's just go through the housekeeping as we normally do. So let's just very gently remind you, it was the same starting 11 that started against Kilmarnock last week. So there were basically no changes to the side. Just let me get on the other bits and pieces that I want to show you as well before we start getting to your comments. So let me get Yimmy's thoughts on the game up. I don't know if you saw his post-match interview. Just keeping his feet on the ground, which I really like. Just staying calm, not getting carried away. I like that. Right, so that's basically one last thing to get in. And then we are done. Where are you? There you go. Right, so Yimmy, where are you, fella? So, I think football is built around passion and togetherness. I think we should be proud of the Aberdeen and Aberdeen Football Club and supporters and players, how they fight together today. This was not an easy game. It was a really, really difficult game. The fans are excited and can celebrate these kind of nights with a late winning goal. But everybody knows the league stops in May. So it's a long way until there, and we have only played 4 games. But it's a good start. But we have to take it game by game in every training session and focus on the right things. Here's your match stats. So we enjoyed 34.2% of possession, which I was slightly surprised about. I thought we would have had more possession than that. 9 shots in total, of which 3 were on target. What was significant here was the amount of successful passes that we had over the piece. Was slightly up, actually, from the Kilmarnock game at Pittodrie the week before. And again, this is where I was slightly baffled by the possession, because look at the corner count. We won 12 corners to their 1, which just goes to show how much we were on the front foot throughout the game. So, let's open it up, because tonight is going to be busy. Oh my God, it was so good. So good. Graham Barron is first on. Hi, Graham. He says, evening, Ali and fellow dandies. Where do I start? What a game. A keeper that can save penalties. Red Army in full voice and limbs everywhere when Nisbet got the goal. Gordon Keith Ritchie says, good evening all. Great to get a win on Saturday. It looks like a 0-0 draw, but great goal and win a second is achievable as Sevco are poor. We'll come on to that in just a moment. Gavin Wilson says, good evening, Ali and dandies. What a game. I thought we lost an edge when McGrath went off. No Palvarret, no Clarkson and no Palaversa, who didn't come on. The penalty save was like us getting a goal, and Nisbet goal already. Graham Barron came back to say Morris and Vinny deserve massive credit because they made a huge contribution to the game. When McGrath came off injured... Hang on, let me get rid of that. Stupid pop-ups. McGrath came off injured, we still had that never say die attitude to win the game. Bring on Motherwell. Steve Williamson says, hi Ali, hope you're well, pal. I genuinely think we can challenge for second place this year. Sevco are looking dreadful and we seem to have a team spirit like I haven't seen in a long time. Gavin is asking about news on McGrath and Devlin's injury, so I've not heard anything. Wasn't that a horrible head knock that Jamie McGrath suffered on Saturday? Big lump that came up on his temple. No doubt he would have been taken to hospital just to double check these things with the severity of that kind of head knock. So nothing's come out of the club, but I absolutely hope that he will be fine and Nicky will be fine as well. I'm sure they will be. Colin Gale has said 3 key points for me on Saturday. Mittoff's penalty save, the introduction of Morris, and the will to get a win demonstrated by 6 players in the box just prior to the goal. DM says, oh my God, what a game. Always had the Tulane feeling we were going to score when 9 minutes went up, though the whole game the county players were conning the ref. Kaiser is on. How are we doing, Kaiser? He says, Jimmy Tulane's juggernaut rolls on. John Grant is here. How are we doing, John? He says, good evening, dandies. What a team. Never say die attitude and so many alternative players to change how the going is going. Thought Morris, Vinny and Nisbet had such an impact on the game. And we also of a top goalkeeper. That penalty save was just sensational. So, I'm going to put a wee question to you. Now I know it was on the other side, but that penalty save reminded me of Theo Schneider's save against Anton Rogan in the 1990 Scottish Cup final. The way he got down, the way he tipped it round the post, just absolutely sensational. I know Theo's was to the left and Dimitar's was to the right, but it was the same type of save, if you catch my drift. I can't remember a penalty save better than that, I've got to be honest. What a save, dearie me. Kelly Roos. Kaiser says, Kelly Roos is not saving that penalty. No, he would have dived the other way, mate. Gavin Wilson says, I see the Aberdeen under-18s league winners are in the UEFA Youth League for the first time ever. Draw tomorrow, Tuesday the 3rd of September at 9 a.m. I really hope they get Red Bull Salzburg. Because if they get Red Bull Salzburg, I wonder who will be taking a wee trip to the game. Gavin Wilson, Aberdeen, ole, ole. So good, it was so good. Full-time scenes were just sensational. The Music Cat says, was at the game, thought the Aberdeen support was fantastic, don't think Roos would have saved that penalty. Scott W says, good evening, Ali. Well, I might be alone in this, but it was never in doubt that a goal was coming on Saturday. You could see that the belief in the players, that if they kept playing the game, a chance would come. Again, a brilliantly worked goal and well taken from Nisbet. Musical Box is on saying, hi guys. So Gavin Wilson is asking, will we get fined for invading the pitch? So let's define the word invade. First and foremost, we did not invade the pitch. Invade is quite a sinister word for me, and I don't think there was anything sinister in what the fans did. For me, it was a pure release of emotion. Now, we will get fined for it. This is where I stand with it. First and foremost, I hope I'm correct in saying this, but I think one of the billboards fell, so there was a bit of a spill. And then obviously a lot of fans got sort of overexcited. I understand that. I get that. It's an emotion that takes over. And I get why the fans did it. Was it right or was it wrong is up for debate. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was right or wrong because it's not my place to. What I will say is that I totally understand the wave of emotion and the relief. You know, my boys and I were jumping about, you know, on the sofa here, you know, the three of us were going mental. And that's just sitting watching the game at home. So to actually be there, you know, with just a minute to go, I get it. I really get it. I'm not saying it's right, but I get it. I do get it. I wish we'd got... The only thing I would say is I just wish they'd come off a bit quicker. That's all. Just get on, just, you know, show your emotion, all that kind of stuff, but then just get off. That was the only thing I would say. Musical Box says, great penalty save from Mitov. He is the first keeper we've had in a long time that is really top class. Oh, there's so many of you on tonight. Susan said, good evening all. Hope you're all well. Blood pressure reduced with a late goal. Scott W came back to say, it wasn't a great performance, but credit has to go to Ross County for not allowing us to play. This team is building a steely resolve. Mike Findlay is here wishing everyone a good evening. Barry Cooler said, good evening, dandies. I was down in Manchester at the weekend and was jumping about outside Suki restaurant on the Deansgate when Nisbet scored. The game had absolutely everything. Susan said, we lost a bit of shape with the early substitutions, but we fought on. David Gould, Rally Vids is here wishing everyone a good evening. Sorry guys, just looking through your comments here. You know, a lot of you were really concerned about Jamie McGrath. God, it was awful, wasn't it? Oh, dearie me. Suze makes a good point. She says, Vinny's like a new man. He is. Barry Cool said, and Barry, I'm with you with this. He said, I must admit, I wasn't sure about taking Toppy off because I thought he was our best player. I must admit, I raised an eyebrow. But it worked. Scott W says, now Yumi has 2 weeks to get things sorted for Motherwell. Will it be 10 in a row? Musical Box is reminding everybody about that brilliant free kick from Vinny. Seriously unlucky to see it come back off the bar. But Mike makes a good point in regards to Barry's point about a topic coming off. He says, I think that was more to get fresh legs on. Yeah. Rodney J. Lenny is on saying it's the best start for a long time. Just keep it going, Dandy Dons. Chilling is on wishing everyone a good evening. Barry Cole is hoping we can pack out Pataudry for the Motherwell game. Kilted Warrior is on. Leighton Bremner is on. So is Neil709. How are we doing, guys? Kaiser has said, I am one of Morris's biggest critics, but I thought he was tremendous when he came on. Graham Klein says, what an away support. Never gave up on the team. What a payoff. You can see the never give up attitude that has been brought in. John Kylo has said, Mitov is an anomaly in football. He's more interested in his career than money. Good point. Kenneth Merchant is on saying, hello from Los Angeles. How are we doing, fella? Thank you for watching from so far away. Duncan Shand says, feel like everyone, great result, great team performance. David Quantrill says, good evening. I started to doubt the process and thought we maybe should have gone long. We didn't, and we got the win. A brilliant win. Kirstine is on. How are we doing? Good evening, fellow dandies. What a game on Saturday. Team fought until the end, and we now have a keeper who can save a penalty and a manager who is brilliant. Fred McKenzie's on, wishing everyone a good evening. Paul Herd makes a good point. He says, please, please, everyone, keep supportive when there are bumps in the road. And there will be bumps in the road. Kenny McDonald is on saying, hi Ali and fellow dandies, I was at the game on Saturday. Without a shadow of a doubt, the best game I've gone to. 2 disallowed goals and a penalty save and a 90 plus 8 minute winner. Wow, 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 he says. Phil McLean says, heart almost stopped, but loved the late winner. Susan Casey's here. Hi Susan, how are you? Good evening dandies. Great away day on Saturday. When Morris doesn't have time to think what to do with the ball, he can whip in some great crosses. Kirsten came back to say, did not expect this much improvement in such a short time. Life as a dandy just now is great. Come on, you Reds. Doug Smith says, Vinny's surely done enough now to warrant a start. He's changed the game the last 3 times, shows urgency and a willingness to do what is required. Devlin's run and flick was pure class. Come on, you Reds. Alan George says, fortune favoured the brave on this occasion. Mike Findlay is reminding everybody to press the old like button. So if you're enjoying the show, nearly 19 minutes in, I would be very grateful if you'd press like. Don't forget to subscribe. Hey, do you know what? We're only 9 subscribers away from 3,800, which is another big milestone. So if you haven't already subscribed, go on. Do us a wee favour. Press the old button. Doesn't cost anything. It's totally free of charge. All you're doing is supporting me and the channel. Go on, give it a wee press. Let's try and get to 3,800 tonight. Derek Griffiths says, what a game that was. 2 disallowed goals, penalty save. It's good to have a keeper that can save penalties, and what an ending. My heart can't take any more. Did you see, I think they flagged it up on Premier Sports, Gavin Malloy went over and had a wee word with Dimitar just before the boy took the penalty, because these two played against each other in Ireland. And that was kind of what they were discussing on the Premier Sports post-match. That Gavin went over and just gave him a wee tip. If he did, by the way, he, alongside Nielsen and Toppy, They could be the signings of our season. I thought Nielsen again was fantastic. He just keeps it simple. And that's what I love about him. Just keeps it simple and moving and flowing. Gavin has his partnership with Ruby. I don't know how Angus is going to get back in the side. I really don't. And Toppy on Saturday, some of the balls that he whipped in, and again, just that's what I love about wingers. It's getting the ball and just attacking your immediate opponent, getting to the byline, getting the ball in as quickly as you can. We've missed that so badly. So many of you are talking about how positive the substitutions were. Richard Mickey McMillan is on. How we doing, fella? Alan S. says, yes, we've had a favourable set of fixtures, but don't believe we would have been unbeaten even with the same squad if Glass, Goodwin or Robson was in charge. Love the squad unity. David Horn says, good evening, Ali and fellow dandies. What a bounce at Dingwall on Saturday when Nisbet scored. Right, come on, guys. I keep saying this time and time again. Just be nice. You're all entitled to your opinion, but just be nice. That's all I'm asking. Just respect the opinions. Whether you're talking about an ex-player that's gone to them, just be mindful that everyone is entitled to their opinion. Please. You know, it's vital for me. It's important to me that this is a safe haven. You know, your well-being is just as important to me as what we do on this show. And I'm not just saying that, I absolutely mean it. You know, I've been, forgive me for being slightly self-indulgent here, but the past 8 months have been hell for me personally, hell. And well-being has played a huge part in my recovery. And if I hadn't have had the mental strength to come through what I came through, not just with my illness, but in my personal life as well, I don't know where I would be or what I would have done. So having a safe haven and being nice to each other is absolutely vital on this channel. And I want you to be nice to each other. It's really, really important to me, guys. Allow people to have their opinion. You are entitled to it, but just be respectful, no matter the topic. I mean it, and I'll say it again, your well-being is just as important as anything that we do on here. This is a family that we've built on here, and I want it to stay that way. Kenneth Merchant says, wait until October till we beat Rangers and Hearts at home. Oh, can you imagine? Barry Cole says, I can see Nisbet getting a start against Motherwell. I got to be honest, so can I. Listen, I thought Esther huffed and puffed again, puts in a decent shift, pulls defenders out, makes runs, all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, we're just not quite seeing an end product. And I think Kevin could bring that end product. And I think now with 2 weeks solid training, with maybe 1 or 2 bounce games thrown in there as well, yeah, I can see him starting, I've got to be honest. Graham Clark has said, good evening, Ali and fellow dandies. How are we all after Saturday? I don't think I've recovered. What a game that had everything. VR decisions, goal disallowed, penalty save, and a last-minute goal. David Milne says, Saturday was probably a bit of a reality check, but pleased with the mentality to keep grinding to the end and get the 3 points. Interesting with some of you discussing amongst yourselves where some of you think that we're not quite strong enough to compete with Celtic at this moment in time. You know, I watched them yesterday. They absolutely blew that mob away. I have no fear of that mob at all. Absolutely none. Celtic's a different kettle of fish, but the Rangers, they hold absolutely no fear for me whatsoever. Neil709 says an ugly win. 3 points is what counts. Alan S says, great to see we continue to keep faith in the system and play football to the end. Under previous regimes on Saturday would have been Ruby up top for last 15 minutes and hoofball. Fraser Gunn is on. How are we doing, Fraser? He says, we definitely would lose that game last season. Absolutely love the fact the boss is brave and willing to gamble. Morris and particularly Vinny were both superb. Thought Malloy was also very good. I think it's Talok McCallum. How are we doing? He says, Mon Reds, we're on fire. Played garbage and won. That's what I want. A lot of you asking about Jamie, how he's doing. Not heard anything at all. Hopefully we'll get we will get an update this week. Because David Goldralli Vids makes a good point, because he wasn't even selected for the Ireland team, was he? So he's going to be fine. Graham Clark says, what I loved about this game, and I know Talene has been building this from the start, but the real togetherness of the players. When Mitov saved, where players were all over him. Graham Gibb said, I refuse to spend another 8 hours on Ticketmaster waiting to get through for Bad Boys Inc. tickets. I heard that's a bit of a shambles back home. Oh my goodness me. Xander SM said, I think we're heading towards second. Rangers are rubbish and Celtic are in that sort of form. A lot of you are making an interesting point about the team that we're going to send to Cove tomorrow night. It's a testimonial, isn't it, for a what's he called? Blair Ewell or something like that, isn't it? Is that his name? Blair Ewells, yeah. Do you know, right? So talking about these Oasis tickets, so a few of you have been in touch with me and asked me if I can get tickets for Oasis. Absolutely not a chance. I do have a connection to the band, believe it or not, because you're not going to. I swear to God, this is true. So Liam's wife, she was the daughter of the lady who used to run our fan club. I swear to God, that's true. And I don't know how people have made this connection. It's absolutely bizarre. But some people have come to me and said, could you get in touch with Liam's wife and ask if we can get some tickets? Not a chance. Sorry, guys, I'm just literally reading some of your comments here. Sandra McPherson has said, let's address the elephant in the room. Ali, when do we get to see the dance? Do you know, right? Do you know, I actually, believe it or not, it was my little boy Lennox said to me the other day when Pappy scored and did the little dance. He said to me, I swear this is true, he said to me, Daddy, you're a much better dancer than Pappy. And he said, you should go to Aberdeen and make a video with him. And I completely forgot to mention it in the show last week. I just slipped my mind completely. I think I might do that for a laugh. The next time I go home, which I've got no idea when it will be, but the next time I go home, I'm going to get Pappy to dance with me. Ralph Ainsworth said, don't think I've experienced such a fervent away fixture as Saturday. Evening kick-off, 20-degree temperature in the sunshine. Everyone 100% behind the team. Loved every minute of it. Richard Mickey McMillan has said, Morris, best game for me so far. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry about the quality of the cam. It's the integrated webcam that I'm having to use because I can't get into my studio. So I do apologise if it's not the best. Cheap laptop. John McDermott has said that Ruby looks very happy with his new centre-back partnership. Donald Cushney says, good spine, keeper, centre-back, midfield, and hopefully a centre-forward. Tango Foxtrot. Which one of us is going to wear the dress? Very good. Michael Taylor says, 2 changes against Motherwell. I would take Papagay out and play Nisbet and Sokla out, Vinny in. I could stream it, couldn't I? Gavin Wilson has suggested I'd pay to see Ali and Pappy do a Bad Boys Inc. routine. Could stream it and make a few quid. David Gold Rallyford said, I'm one of the many who tried and failed to get Oasis tickets. Sander SM says, I think Pappy is a bit raw and will take time. Sokla is still unknown. I hope he can get a few goals though. Mitov's save was like a goal. Right, guys, we have just done over 32 minutes. George Rutherford makes a good point. He says, as for the under-18 UEFA, you won't be going to Red Bull Sound of Music until the new year, as they are in the Champions League path. And we are in the domestic Champions path. Could draw Gothenburg. Both enter at round 2. Brilliant. Thank you, mate. Musical Box said, I could see that dance going viral. I've got to do it for a laugh now, right? I've got to do it for a laugh. Oh, dearie me. Let's have a wee think about that, eh? Right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Just before we do, oh dear. Get off. There we go. You've seen it already. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed the show. Thank you to all of you who came on. And so the plan this week is I'm going to do a beginning of the season review show. I'm going to record that on Wednesday night and hopefully get that to you before the weekend. So I've got 3 guests coming on. We're just going to sort of chew the fat about the beginning of the season. So I'll be bringing that to you so that we keep the content going throughout the international break. So have a great week. I'll see you again very soon. Take very good care of yourselves. Stand free.